the Durban Magistrate's Court has provisionally granted an application brought by the defence to have a piece of evidence submitted to test the strength of the state's case in the AKA-Tibz murder case. Let's now bring in Vusi Khumalo, our reporter, for the very latest on this particular matter. Vusi, thank you so much for your time. As we wrap what happened in court today, I mean, one of the things that had come out previously in court was, of course, that it would not allow the defense to submit any documentation whatsoever for the Eswatini part of the case. That's where, of course, the two other suspects are awaiting their extradition. The court said that it would not allow the defense to use any information as evidence in the bail application that you are currently in or have attended in any event. Just talk to us about what transpired in court then today.
Yes, indeed. Previously, the court has made that ruling that it will not entertain any of the submissions that were tendered to in Eswatini or to the magistrate court in Eswatini. This court made that ruling. But today, of course, now saying that after the application by the defense that it would like to use some a piece of evidence that is contained in the affidavits that were purported in Eswatini magistrate court. But now the court saying that it will provisionally grant that application that was brought forward by the defense so that it will benefit them as they are going forward with this matter. Yesterday, there were lots of things here said by the defense, especially with regards to accused number 1, 3, as well as accused number 5. But to help us understand the nitty-gritties of this matter, I'm being joined by our legal analyst, Abigail Ngobene, who's going to take us through some of the things, what has really transpired here in court today. Thanks a lot, Ngobene. Just take us through about what really transpired today. We know that a number of the accused did say that they were also disputing their involvement, some of them saying they were just in the vicinity where the deceased, AKA and his friend, were after being shot dead. But they're saying they were not there because they were perhaps plotting to kill them, but they were there just to check on their girlfriends and also disputing their relationship with some of the accused.
Yes, indeed. You know, today there were a lot of things that were said, mainly to rebut what was said by the prosecutor in the matter on behalf of the state through their affidavit. Remember, they disclosed a lot of things which showed conspiracy, that showed coordination between the 5 accused persons who are applying for bail in this court. But to be particular, you'll remember that the issue of an affidavit which was deposed to by the DPP in KZN, the part of the things that the defense thought that there was a contradiction between the evidence by the state and that which is contained in that particular affidavit. The issue of time upon which the deceased walked out of the restaurant concerned, and there are other aspects of course, that the defense counsel said there are kind of contradiction. And of course, you'll remember that it's only number 1, number 5, and number 3 who were able to have their affidavit read today. Of note as well, you will also remember that the issue of monies and proceeds that were allegedly distributed amongst them, there is also a new thing where the applicants before court says, one of them says it was Isipego, there was a wedding, and the IO needs to verify that. One says, I was working for Ngobene, and he paid me after having been his driver for some time. It's the money that was still outstanding. The other one says, I was there in the vicinity of the restaurant where the occasion of the commission of this offense occurred, but I was there waiting for my girlfriend. So I kept making calls, but the calls was to check if the girl is coming. So it will be entirely up to the court on whether the court will be able to attach weight on all these factors that were said today before the court.
Yes, and also with accused number 5 saying that he had no competency of to use the firearm, but also without any license. If you can just take us through that.
Through the affidavit, it was more of portraying to the court that he is qualified to be in possession of a firearm, and he has done all the competency tests that are required. But of course, the state was adamant to say he should produce a license. And when the magistrate asked Advocate Mlocha on whether or not he's speaking on a license or he's speaking on competency, he then said he'll come later on argument. But as it stands, it's only competency, not the license to hold a firearm.
And also, some of them disputing their relationship, especially with regards to number 2 and number 5 as well, the demanders.
Yeah, it's very dynamic. You'll also note that one of the accused persons, I just don't remember the number, I'll have to check my facts, said he denied having been employed by Ngobene. And you'll remember that in the initial affidavit of Ngobene was that he employed some of the accused persons, and the monies that was paid, distributed, was more of a reimbursement of the work that they have done. So, of course, if he was never employed by Ngobene, in the trial court, of course, you will have to come and adduce further evidence as to what was the payment for. Of course, others said they were drivers, others said there were outstanding payments that they had to receive. But, of course, you'll remember that they still bear the honors to convince the court that the interest of justice permits their release on bail. So these contradictions, of course, the court will look at that holistically and apply its mind on whether or not to admit them to bail.
Thanks a lot for your time.
I really appreciate it.
Yes, that's the legal analyst, Abigail Ngobene, basically saying that the defense today really tried to poke holes into the founding the affidavits of the state here, because a number of things, especially as Abigail Ngobene did say, that there were some contradictions which the defense was really trying to state their case, trying to shift away some of the accused from the matter here that is before the court, as the 5 of them stand accused of killing AKA as well as his friend. Well, the matter is coming back on the 8th of April. That will be next Monday, and also it will come back on the 12th as well.